Today's topic is intrusion detection. So we'll be seeing what is an intrusion, what is intrusion prevention, what is intrusion detection, and also an intrusion detection system. Okay, so first one is intrusion detection and prevention. So what exactly is the term intrusion? So when I say intrusion is nothing but I try to gain an unauthorized access to a particular system, and my motive will be solely harming the system. Okay, so basic definition of intrusion is nothing but gaining unauthorized access to a system with an aim of causing loss or harm to the system or to other systems connected to this particular system. Okay, now there are two things: intrusion prevention and intrusion detection. So in intrusion prevention we will try to prevent the occurrence of intrusion, and in intrusion detection we are just going to continuously monitor the system. Okay, we are going to monitor all the systems so as to know whether any attempt of intrusion is happening. If there is an attempt of intrusion, immediately alarm will be raised. Okay, so now coming to intrusion prevention. So intrusion prevention will anticipate or forecast various types of intrusions that might happen, and it will try to take steps in order to prevent such intrusions. Okay, so understood. So intrusion prevention is like prevention is better than cure. We will not give any chance for the intruders to enter into the system. So we'll try all possible ways to prevent occurrence of intrusion. Okay, so one way is what we can do is your programmers, whoever is coding a particular system, they should code in such a way that there is minimum possibility of intrusion. Okay, another way is what you can tell the users. Okay, you can tell your users you should be extra careful while dealing with the passwords and all, because see what happens is you have a particular Facebook account. Okay, but what is the use if you keep disclosing your password to everyone? What is going to happen? 100% you are only allowing the intruder to enter into your system. So educating the users about the consequences of leaking security data is also one way of intrusion prevention. Okay, another way of prevention is whatever data we get from HTML forms should be sanitized, or means should be screened properly, so that we will not have any I told you when I was teaching SQL injection attack. Okay, so what happens in form, instead of filling the relevant data, if you insert a SQL command, it is going to just it is going to cause a damage to the database in the system. Okay, so all this comes in intrusion prevention. So as I told you, intrusion prevention is nothing but a measure to prevent intrusions from happening. Okay, so you can state 3 examples. First is you have to adopt programmers who will ensure that there are minimum vulnerabilities in the software, or there is no vulnerability, or there is minimum vulnerability in the software and it cannot be exploited by any intruder. Second thing is you have to educate the users about the security threats, what might happen if they are negligent in with their security or with their credentials. Okay, another way is whatever data you are getting from your HTML forms should be scrutinized properly, so that it doesn't contain any data which is going to harm your system. Okay, now coming to the next part, that is intrusion detection. So intrusion detection, basically what it does is it monitors the normal functioning of the system. Okay, so it just keeps monitoring the system, and as and when some event of interest happens, okay, for this intrusion detection system or intrusion detection, if some event of interest, if I say what is event of interest, if a system call is there, which is the call to open a file which contains some sensitive information. Okay, so yes, somebody is trying to log into a system and open a file which has very crucial data. So it is an indication that something attempt of intrusion. There is an attempt of intrusion, and this might be a potential intrusion. Okay, so in that case, what it does, it immediately raises an alarm. So that is nothing but your intrusion detection. You have to understand the difference between intrusion prevention and intrusion detection. Intrusion prevention is we are trying to make 100% possibilities that no intrusion is going to happen. Intrusion detection is that while the system is functioning, we are going to monitor the system, and when we know that an intrusion, there is a sign of an intrusion, we have to immediately raise an alarm to prevent the to stop the intrusion. Okay, now coming to intrusion detection system, you can see here what all is there. You can, it is self-descriptive. You can just see the diagram. First, as I told you, the intrusion detection system keeps monitoring the system or network variables. Okay, now it will analyze the system values of these variables. Okay, now if there is a value or the behavior of the variables matches some pattern means, see in previous like what is the meaning of pattern? Okay, attack pattern. See what happens, some particular thing had happened in this same sequence and it led to an attack. So what happens, they would have somehow come out of the attack and they would have made a note of what was the pattern for the attack. Okay, this will be maintained in a database. Okay, I repeat again, in past the organization would have encountered a intrusion or an attack and it would have got notified and it would have got it rectified at a later stage. But what happens, an attack has happened, that is a fact. So what all sequence of events happened and that led to that particular attack, I will maintain it in a database. So now something similar is happening again. So I will just match the pattern and I will deduce that there is an attack going to happen. That time what immediately I will do, yes, if it matches, yes, then immediately I am going to raise an alarm. Okay, if it doesn't match, then again I will keep monitoring the behavior. Again, if there is an anomalous behavior, again yes, if there is an anomalous behavior, I am again going to raise an alarm. That's it. So just go through this. I will be doing types of intrusion detection system in the next video.